What's up, guys?
What's going on?
I am JP,
And I'm Ryan.
and we are we are
Wait, that
we are your CineNerds.
CineNerds. That was the whole echo dramatic effect.
Can't talk today.
Well, that's why I had to make it special. And just
Yeah.
go, echo. We'll shut up and get to the point.
CineNerds, nerds.
That's what kind of episode this is going to be. As we gear up into the Thanksgiving holiday, we've chosen some special ones for you. In this instance, JP, what'd you choose?
I chose the 2021. I started to say 23, and I was like, wait a second. No, this is way older than that. Not way old, but anyway. 2021, Bruce Campbell, Devon Sawa, Black Friday.
First watch for me.
I figured that you had not seen this one.
I had not. And I did not know this was a Bruce Campbell film either, so that was a pleasant little, as I started watching it, I didn't even look at the cover photo for the movie, honestly. I just pressed play. And once I looked back at the cover photo after watching it, of course, I was like, oh yeah, Bruce Campbell. Okay, cool. And he does a great job in it. He's Bruce Campbell. He's amazing. And I'll tell you what, it's far better than Bubba Hotep.
Oh yeah. It's way better than. But now I love Bubba Hotep.
He does.
Though.
I've only watched it once, and it's one of the ones I won't go back to.
Bubba Hotep is a Don Coscarelli film, who did Phantasm, and John dies at the end, and you guys know my feelings on John dies at the end. So
yeah, I don't think Bubba reached that milestone.
Bubba's not as even in the same realm as greatness as John dies at the end, but I still enjoy Bubba Hotep. Any movie that has a mummy that sucks the souls out of people's butts, I can enjoy.
Oh, JP.
So,
Black Friday, yes.
Black Friday.
So this one is definitely up my alley. No pun intended with the sucking the soul out of buttholes. But this one is pretty great. And it obviously, as the title implies, it rotates or gravitates around Black Friday, the holiday. And basically it's funny because they kind of approach it like a zombie scenario.
Kind of, yeah.
So as the store is prepping and the workers, because all the workers are the main characters, all the workers are inside the store and they're kind of looking outward. And these people are starting to line up and they're just banging on the glass like almost like zombies, kind of doing the hand thing. And it was a nice little like kind of prep into it because that's what it feels like. If anyone's worked retail, you know that these people get a little intense on Black Friday.
And watching this film, and I had seen this film, and this movie, I remembered seeing the ads for this movie, and I want to say I saw the ads for this pre-COVID, because I believe this movie was originally, and I may be wrong, but I believe this movie was supposed to come out in 2020.
Oh, it's one of those.
It's one of those, and it was obviously, I think, best I remember, it was pushed back, and obviously even in 2021, people were still not going to theaters, and stuff was still being pushed to digital instead of going to theaters, and so this movie did suffer that whole bullshit that we lived through. But I remember seeing the ads for this movie, and as soon as I saw the first trailers, I was like, I have to see this movie. And waited. It felt like I waited forever before it finally came out. And I had, I don't remember it actually, because I don't think this movie really didn't hit the theaters. I'm pretty sure it basically was a very limited theater run and straight to digital. And so I had bought this on digital and when it first released, and I was just like, yes, this is a JP movie.
It was definitely much more fun than I anticipated. Definitely captured what it feels like to be in retail. Definitely had great sci-fi twists, sci-fi elements. Not quite zombie, but zombie-like circumstances. And I guess let's just start talking about that. Let's talk. So it turns into a crazy Black Friday, basically, where there's a parasite organism that crashes down in a meteor from space, and it takes over some people right away, and things start happening from there.
Yeah, people start getting sick, and it escalates from from that point on, and the alien that crashes through the store, and you see them, they're actually crashing all over the world. Um, they look like actually kind of like the Blob, but almost like the Blob, but almost like a organic version of the Blob is what they kind of look like.
It was really weird because like the creatures leading up to becoming one with the Blob had a whole different look. Then they'd become the Blob, and then the Blob would basically collect all of the people who have been affected into one giant like kaiju looking thing.
And when I tell you a trivia fact, you're gonna understand that all that's gonna make a little more sense.
What's your trivia fact?
So
wait.
I can let it out now.
Okay.
So because I mean you already just said that basically all the infected people merge into with this blob and it creates this huge kaiji kind of. And there are actually multiple ones all over the place because everyone that had landed is absorbing the infected people. This script was adapted from an original script for an episode of the Power Rangers.
That is fucking amazing on so many levels because now that I know that, I see every aspect of it down to like in Power Rangers, when you were a kid and watching that shit, you'd see the rubber arms flailing on the monsters, and that's what you'd see in this.
Yeah.
So you know, we're talking about the infected and like not zombies, but like blob-like characters, and we're talking about people getting sick. But like, remember, this is a horror comedy, so this is what you sign up for is what you're getting, and that completely
it tracks,
and now changes everything. Like now I'm looking at this, I got to watch this movie again. I got to watch this movie from a Power Ranger standpoint.
It's so amazing. It's
and
so great.
And the retail workers, they're Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, the cast in this is amazing with Devon Sawa, Michael J. White,
Spawn.
For
those you don't know,
who I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it now. We're supposedly getting a new Spawn movie. Todd McFarlane's been talking about it for years. He's casted originally, and supposedly still the guy that's interested was, what's his name? Jamie Foxx.
Oh, that's right. I can't.
Todd
do that,
McFarlane,
dude.
I'm saying this right now. You are making a fucking mistake if you do not bring Michael J. White back as Al Simmons Spawn. He's in better shape now than he was in the 90s.
And let's rewind to that for a second. I don't know if anyone really can appreciate it, this little tidbit, and I'll never forget hearing this because at the time, not now, at the time I was a health nut and I was always working out. So the fact that Michael J. White, his armor, his suit for Spawn was literally only 1/8 of an inch thick. That was his build that you saw in the Spawn suit. There's no muscle making little pushes or highlights. It was him they built the suit around.
He's a big guy.
Yeah,
he's a big guy, and he's bigger now than he was back then. Like, I think Todd McFarlane casting Jamie Foxx instead of Michael J. And there's not really an age difference between the two actors, really. I don't think. Like, just bring him back.
Honestly, like, screw Jamie Foxx. I'm sorry, Jamie. You won't ever watch this. You won't ever hear this, so I'm not stressed. I actually have become more and more of a fan of Michael B. Jordan recently.
I like
Michael
Michael B.
he
Jordan.
would be a solid Spawn.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I could get behind, and especially and that was kind of my point. There's not a big age gap between Jamie Foxx and Michael J. White.
You're right.
If you're going to cast somebody that old to play Spawn, to play Al Simmons, bring Michael J. White back. He's in better shape now than he was back then, and he was in great shape back then. Just bring him back. But if you want to cast a younger actor for longevity, absolutely, Michael B. Jordan would be fantastic. I think he's great in everything I've ever seen him in. Like, and I even enjoyed the Fantastic Four that he was in.
What was it? My son and I enjoyed the hell out of it. It was The Little Boy on Netflix. What was the Little Boy series? Michael B. Jordan was the father, and he wrote the series.
I don't know if I've seen that.
So the little boy gets powers, and he like because he's part of an experimental program where his dad was or something, and why can't I remember this? Because I got Noah to watch it. I got my 12-year-old to watch it. And anything that's got a little bit of a scare to it, he's not. It's not his vibe.
Yeah.
And this has a little bit of a scare to it because it's done so well and it's focused around kids his age. So he really like clung to this one. That's driving me nuts now. Oh,
Well, look it up.
yeah.
So, Devon Sawa, Michael J. White. You got Bruce Campbell. I mean, that's the bulk of the cast. I mean, there's
Devon Sawa though too. Like, I think when did you first start liking this guy?
Casper.
Okay. Wow, I wasn't expecting that one.
Well,
because he's been in Idle Hands, he's been in Final Destination, and he was in Chucky.
I actually say this because of my love for Christina Ricci, but that's the first thing I remember him in.
I thought for sure it was because he was the president of the United States in Chucky.
Now, I will say I started enjoying Devon Sawa as an actor, SLC Punk.
And he was in part 2. I forgot
he
about
returned
that.
for part 2, yeah. And Devon Sawa's had a bit of a resurgence here in recent years with low-budget horror films like Black Friday and then the Chucky series. And he's great in the Chucky series. To me, he's the highlight of the series.
And I like how they made it so they have like a backup fill-in candidate to go if something goes wrong with the first one. Because to me, I don't know, Sleepy Joe, you're looking a little different sometimes. No, Raising Dion was the name of that show.
I didn't see that one.
So Raising Dion, there's 3 seasons of it, and it's real, maybe 2. Really worth checking out. I really wish they didn't get canceled. It was only 2019 and 2022, but yeah,
I'll check it out because I like Michael B. Jordan. I love him in Creed. He's great in Creed.
His role in it is very minor, but as far as I believe, he directed it and did it. But I haven't watched the Creed films yet.
Really,
I can't bring myself to do it.
They're so good.
I think they're gonna be, but I'm like holding off. Like I want to watch it all together and like really, really dive into it. When I was a kid, when I started having that health nut thing, it was because I was doing sports in school and I wanted to, be top of my game. I would watch the Rocky movies and get hyped and go to the gym. That whole bit.
If you love the Rocky films, then the first 2 Creed films you're fucking gonna love.
Cool.
Because I mean, they're basically Rocky films, and so Stallone's in them.
Right.
Now the third one. It's good. It's all right.
I know that look.
It's all right. The third one is the weakest, but it's still good. But it's
the dead stare, pause stare. That's kind of like a fuck off.
It sucks because it's just not as great as those first 2. Those first 2 are fucking great. They're for me. They're Rocky 1, Rocky 2 great. And they bring a lot of elements from previous Rocky films. I mean, the sequel has Dolph Lundgren come back as the Russian.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know that. I haven't even watched the trailers on these.
Oh yeah. No,
that's how
they're good.
like I'm worried and I want it to be good and I don't want to be let down. So that's why I've been putting it off, I think.
I'm a huge Rocky fan, and I'm gonna tell you, the first 2 Creed films, you're not gonna be let down. Third one, I think you're gonna be like me. I think you're gonna be like, this is all right. This is good, but it's just not as good as what these as great. It doesn't have the greatness that these first 2 films had.
All right.
Black Friday. We've talked about everything else,
but there's a lot you can deviate off from Black Friday to this, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, some other things too. I didn't know Michael J. White was in Dark Knight. I forgot about that.
He was one of the gangsters.
Did you know who the bear is voiced by?
Do what?
The bear. The little bear that's talking. So remember that?
Oh yeah. The bear in the
It's Seth Green.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
catch that.
That's kind of interesting. And then there's on the radio excerpt. I think it was. I don't remember which part of the movie. There's a radio excerpt.
I've got this one right here, which is cool.
Go ahead.
It talks about the counties.
Yeah.
And the counties are Columbus, Carpenter, Lynch, and Wright have been evacuated. And this is a nod to the 4 directors that inspired this, that was inspiration for this director, which was Chris Columbus, John Carpenter, Joe Lynch, and Edgar Wright.
Yep, pretty solid shit.
Yeah,
I like that little bit of trivia. But yeah, man, this movie is like very well done in the sense that, with the exception of the end and the beginning, It's all takes place within this store. They're constantly in little nooks and crannies hiding and trying to fight through things and deal with it. You get the almost blood-ravaged, bloodthirsty people trying to get these sales, coming into the store, throwing shit, and just the way that things start to unfold. It's pretty interesting to watch. It gives you that little stomach feel of the zombie world. So
yeah, and it's a zombie film without it being zombies, really.
Right.
And they end up mutating to more monsters, or some of them do, but they're all trying to get in here to build and merge with this alien being.
Go Power Rangers.
Yeah. And you got the main cast of a handful of people that are just hiding out in the back room, essentially.
Dude, that one girl, the girl that had pancakes and that Devon's character had a crush on,
Mm-hmm.
she brutalized him in that one rejection scene.
Yeah.
She was like, no, really wasn't anything. No, sorry. And he's just like, what the fuck? But we had pancakes.
And you think Michael J. White is going to be like, and he is a badass in this movie, but he doesn't make it as long as what you would think.
Yeah.
Like he gets taken out pretty quick.
I think this was like, I was really thinking through that one, and to me, like, yes, he didn't have the status that some of the other actors who have bounced back and came from had, but I feel like this was kind of one of those movies where he wanted to make fun of whatever and have fun with it.
Oh yeah.
And we all know Nicolas Cage has done a shit ton of those in recent years, and it's helped him. It's built up Nicolas Cage, so maybe Michael J. was trying to go for that route. I don't know.
Which I think is fantastic.
I do too.
I
I'm
mean,
here for it.
I wish he would do more stuff like this. And one thing I loved is I've worked in retail for, I don't even want to say how long, but it's been a long time. It's
If you're wondering ever, this glorious face is younger than his.
I worked at one of the big retailers, and I was there for almost right at 15 years, and I was in store management for 10 of those 15 years after college. And I'm in another big box retail store I've been in for another 5 years. So I've got over 20 years in retail, over the span of probably almost 30 years. But that being said, Devon Sawa's character reminds me a lot of myself and how he feels being at work in retail. He's very, I don't give a fuck, whatever,
He's literally just there to provide a paycheck for his kids.
Yeah, and he's training this new guy, and the new guy's like, he's asking me, like, a customer asked for where the yo-yos are. What do you do? What do you do to help them? He goes, oh, I walk them to the yo-yos. He's like, no, you point just that general direction and tell them to go over there. They'll figure it out. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at in retail. But then you've also got Bruce Campbell that's playing the really devoted store
He's playing
manager.
the opposite of who he was in Evil Dead.
Yeah, he's the really devoted store manager that is, doesn't really care about his employees. He cares about the bottom line, and I've been both of those guys. In real life, I have been both of those guys, and so those two characters are just spot on.
The bottom line in any business unit to be successful is the most important thing. And when you're in a manager setting, you're driven to execute that and get that across the finish line. And the length that Bruce Campbell's character goes to in this, where he like promises them they're getting bonuses, but there's not really bonuses. There's going to be layoffs, in fact, but he hasn't told anyone until they're in this crisis, and then he lets it all out and everything changes. But they still try and find camaraderie and bonding. I think they had some deli turkey meat, and they all want to do Thanksgiving together, so they broke up pieces of this deli turkey meat. But I'll tell you what, if nothing else, I did have fun with the sci-fi element of this, but man, when I was watching Bruce Campbell's character, I was like, I never want my staff to perceive me as that guy. ever.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no,
no.
you would hate him.
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, and that's what I loved about it. Those two characters are the working in retail. I feel like Devon Sawa's character and Bruce Campbell's character are the two extremes of employees in retail.
I told my staff today at a meeting. I was hoping they would take it lightly and know that I was talking about myself only, just trying to make them smile. They didn't. It wasn't received very well. But I go. Bosses are like diapers. I go. We're always on your ass, and we're usually full of shit. And a couple of them laughed, but I think they're afraid to laugh. but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So sorry. Go ahead.
And then you also had the one woman. I can't remember her name, but the
Old lady or
the older lady that was the other extreme on the retail employees, where she's like always the employee of the month and always pointing out what everybody else is doing wrong. And
well,
you
there's
have
three women then.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
there's
know
a
what
few
you're talking
different
about.
ones.
Yeah.
This, you had Marnini, or how you say her name? Then Brian was the other one.
Yeah.
And then
he was the ass kisser.
Anita was the one that was the one I'm talking about. But there was also the older woman that I know which one I think her name was Ruth. But Anita, the one that was always the employee of the month and always pointing out what people are doing wrong and how they need to do this, they need to be more devoted to the company and this and that. But you've got that extreme employee in every retail store too. So.
Choke slam. Yeah, that nobody likes that person. Nobody wants that. I mean, like, if you really live your life thinking about that being that person, you get your rocks off by going to work and thinking about how you can shit on everyone else for not doing enough. Like, when everyone's just trying to get by, then you're a horrible person.
I love the whole scene where Devon Sawa's character thinks that he's infected, and they leave him there, and they all go to the roof, and he's in there waiting to change, and then he realizes that he's in there. Why am I not changing? Why am I not changing? And all of a sudden he figures it out that Brian's the one that bit him, and it wasn't the zombie or whatever they're called.
When Brian admits that later too, they leave his ass in the dumpster. So.
Yeah, and that whole scene with him putting on the rollerblades and
they're just roller skates.
The skates, yeah, and skating through the store, fighting the one monstrous customer that's turned, and that whole sequence is great. And he sets the building on fire.
That moment is very reminiscent of Price Smart. I definitely got those vibes in there, and I appreciated those little moments.
I feel like this is a better Evil Dead sequel than the Evil Dead sequels we've had in recent years.
Debatable. That's a franchise we should cover.
Oh, I'll cover the franchise. You're not going to like the tail end of it, though.
I'm probably in agreement with you in a lot of it. I just am more optimistic in what I perceive as possibilities. That's the best way I can summarize it without saying anything else, because I feel like they're missing some key opportunity with what areas we feel like are fuck ups. But yeah, this is not bad. You had me, JP. You had me on this one.
I had you at Black Friday.
I don't know about Black Friday per se, but I was like, what is he putting me into now? Like, because by this point I already watched Under the Rainbow. So I was like, what are we getting into here? And it was definitely not disappointing. It was all right.
Well, I chose Under the Rainbow because we had talked about doing something a little more lighthearted.
Yeah, we did.
And
change it up a little bit.
And that was one that's just like, yeah, that's a lighthearted film to get out of the horror stuff that we did all through Halloween and leading into Halloween, and we did pre-Halloween, then we did Halloween, all horror films. And
we mentioned it earlier because of Devon's Sawa, but I really at some point we do want to explore SLC Punk, but that was not in the slightest lighthearted, so we didn't go that route.
Yeah, you and I both have a couple movies that we had selected that we were going to do. Then we didn't end up getting to get them filmed before the holiday seasons, the Halloween season, now Thanksgiving and Christmas, that I'm assuming that we're going to put those on the back burner until after the first of the year at some point.
Yeah.
So,
you did just get me thinking about something though. Go ahead.
we're going to look up SLC Punk 2.
No. I'm gonna look up a specific day of the week. Damn it, it's a Monday. Never mind. I was looking at St. Patty's Day. I was like, do we look at the Leprechaun franchise?
I'm all about the Leprechaun franchise.
Oh my god. I think I stopped at Leprechaun in the Hood.
You didn't watch the second Leprechaun in the Hood?
The second?
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Fuck off.
And the second one's better.
Says you.
No, it is. It's a better film.
Is it like the best worst film? Is this one of those trick ones again? Where you're fucking with me?
Warwick Davis is a treasure.
Tell Disney that, because they fucking canceled Willow.
I know, fucking Disney.
I'm so sick of Disney. Anyways.
No, I generally like the second Leprechaun in the Hood more than the first one.
So is it Is it like part 5 or 6, or is it like Leprechaun in the Hood 2?
You know what? I got the set right up here. I can pull
Oh
it down.
my god, do you? Let's see. By the way, I don't think we have talked about JP's recent efforts. He posted it on our page, but if you can see, our background has changed significantly. So JP's been at work here in the studio, and up to the right, directly in front of me, is quite the Blu-ray and DVD collection that are along a shelf that is up there. So if I'm ever looking up, staring, I'm usually probably reading the titles.
Yes, it is Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Back to the Hood. But is that what is that in the chronological order though?
It would be 3, 4, 5. It would be part 6.
Is there more beyond that?
Yes, there's actually 2 more after that. There's only 1 more on this, but yeah, there's one that has the little wrestler from WWE. It's produced by WWE.
I don't know how I feel about any of this.
Yeah,
I almost feel dirty.
but Warwick, the last 2 Warwick was not in.
Okay.
Because one of them, I can't remember who the.
So it's like the last 2 Hellraiser. It's
Yeah,
okay.
There was one. There was Leprechaun Origins. Then there was another one that was I can't remember which one it was because I have it someplace, but it has the wrestler, the little wrestler that was with the Irish guy in WWE, Hornswoggle or.
The last time I watched wrestling on TV was the Goldberg. So was it after that?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it depends what era of Goldberg you're talking about.
The original era.
Oh yeah, it would have been a little ways after that, but he was a little midget wrestler.
Little person wrestler.
Little person wrestler.
We just covered Under the Rainbow. Come on.
You know what? I don't know what's politically correct anymore and what isn't. He's the little guy that was in WWE. He took Warwick Davis' character as Leprechaun in one of the films, and I mean, essentially, it's produced by WWE, so you kind of get what you get.
Yeah.
It's definitely no Warwick Davis, and it's definitely no Leprechaun Back to the Hood, and it's definitely no Leprechaun in space.
Is there a Leprechaun space?
Yeah, part 4.
I don't even know what to say right now.
You've evidently never dove all the way through the Leprechaun series.
All I care about is the first one because Jennifer Aniston is in it.
Let me tell you, Leprechaun in Space and Leprechaun Back to the Hood are great.
You know what else is great? Jennifer Aniston. in that first one, they did the same tricks that they did on the Friends set, and they kept the thermometer real low. That's all I can tell you. Oh boy.
So, come
I bet you can
St. Patty's Day.
I bet you can pick that film up on Black Friday for a real good price. Segue back.
You know, probably. Check Amazon.
I might
Black Friday
have to
sales.
try to find it myself now because now apparently I'm far way behind in Leprechaun. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
You gotta get caught up. Especially if you want to do a franchise.
I mean that would be the fun of it though. Like if I did it for that, then that would be cool. Because then I've got a reason to delve into the madness and feel better about it. So I didn't just watch it.
Unlike me, I just watched it.
Yeah,
I've watched them all, and I just rewatched them in the past year when I bought this Blu-ray set.
Rewatched. Wow. No, so to be fair, there's a lot of movies I probably wouldn't have seen that through this whole past year of you guys choosing movies that I've had a great go at watching some of these. Probably my biggest surprise out of last year, I'm going to say it again, and I'm sure JP remembers this, but Krampus. That's still one of my, we're adding that. We're not only adding that to the Christmas collection this year, but my wife asked to do a Krampus Krampus Christmas at our house. So I'm kind of intrigued by that. So
I'm a little sad that none of my films have.
I was shocked that JP had that one too. Or sorry, James. Jesus Christ.
Right.
I was shocked. I was like, wait, James chose this? This is gonna be lighthearted and silly and weird. No, it was good. So, anyways,
Black Friday. Alrighty. So
you got any more trivia?
Yeah, there's a little bit in here. Let me see what we got.
Like any more Power Rangers trivia? Because I'm still stuck on that.
The Power Ranger trivia is there's not a lot. Obviously, there was a TV. There was a scene where a TV was playing in the employee lounge, and Curse of Chucky was what was playing on the TV screen. There's not a lot of trivia. The filming location was a former Babies R Us store.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's a few, but those are really the bulk of the trivia facts. So yeah, there's not a lot of trivia facts on this one. So
was this? Do I remember correctly? Was this filmed in Massachusetts though?
I think it was actually
because the holiday, Black Friday,
it was filmed in
Massachusetts,
yeah.
Which will lead us into our next week's episode for Thanksgiving. But anyways, so Black Friday for me again, first time watch. I love pretty much anything sci-fi, even if it's cheesy, and this had a great sci-fi build up. The meteor just crashing Earth, even though there was multiples, to be fair, because JP pointed that out, but I definitely got Spider-Man 3 vibes where it just kind of crashed down randomly in the store and went from there. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what it was. I enjoyed the build up, the way the team pulled together, the way things happened. Bruce Campbell's character is just awesome, and I like how he kind of tries to make up for his shortcomings as the boss and how he builds it back. And I'm still not. You messed up my whole world because I was so happy thinking it was a kaiju, and now all I can think of is Power Rangers. God damn it!
You just imagine Rita like, make my monster grow.
Put her hands up like this. Oh boy.
Oh, so I don't know if you looked this up for budget and box office.
I did not, but real quick before you do that, what do you think about how they try to tackle and take down the kaiju?
How they ended up bringing them down?
Yeah,
with the forklift.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he just got forklift certified. So, what better way?
It was definitely interesting to say the least. Now, so hold on. Did they actually kill the kaiju, or did they just injure it? Because when they were passing by on the highway towards the end, I don't know if it was a different one.
It was a different one.
Okay,
yeah.
I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, it was a different one. So the monster and even the infected people shoot this web stuff out at people and kind of grab them. It's very reminiscent of Spider-Man, kind of. So this giant kaiju spits this spider web thing out onto this forklift, and he stops reversing the forklift, jumps out, and the monster pulls
slingshots.
The
yeah, back to him
into its head, and it falls down into the burning building.
The propane tank blew up.
Yeah.
So it was well done. Now I can see a sequel.
Cyber
Monday.
They left it open.
Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Right after Black Friday. Let's go. All right, so this one we can wrap up pretty quickly. This one isn't anything. There's not too much craziness to this. This one isn't by any means a giant science project of breaking down. This one's just good old-fashioned fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Again, this was a JP pick, so I'm going to dig into my review if you're ready. Or do you go box office numbers?
Well,
do that.
and that's what I was going to say. There's nothing on this film.
See, this is where we need James.
Well, no, I'd looked it up, and there's no listing of the budget. The only box office dollars that it showed was only like $1,800.
But that's because of exactly what you said. It's pandemic time.
Time, and I think this film it suffered. So there's not any actual numbers for this film.
I would be really, really happy if they did try and give this a fair go at a sequel and or re-release it maybe for holiday. I don't know. I doubt it'll happen, but it'd be great to see something more come of this, because I definitely Devon and did Bruce survive?
No,
he didn't. That's
No.
right. He went out in the blaze of glory. But Devon could definitely take this forward, and he doesn't have too much going on right now, so we could see it. It could happen.
he'll be in a new Chucky something.
Maybe.
There'll be something.
Someone's talking about picking up that new the Chucky from because what was it? Paramount Plus dropped it.
Sci-fi and it was on Sci-Fi and Shudder.
Right, but I think when it got dropped though, because it was being shown. Like, I watched all the seasons on Paramount Plus, so I think someone was toying around with picking this up. So, and
Okay.
I know what's her face is locked into Jennifer Tilly. She's devoted to being what's her face. So this will go well. Anyways,
It'll happen.
So no box office numbers, no budget. So all right, I will jump into this just for good old fashioned fun. This was, again, by no means, and god damn it, now I'm factoring in fucking Go-Go Power Rangers. Jesus.
Power Rangers Turbo Go.
Jesus. Fuck you, JP. I kind of wish you didn't tell me that till the very end. But I don't know. This good old fashioned fun. Let's go 3.1 nerds from me.
All right.
He's sitting up weird. I don't know. I just either go lower or higher. I don't know.
Oh, I'm going higher.
Oh.
This is a JP movie, and if you're a fan of Evil Dead 2, you're a fan of Army of Darkness, you're a fan of Tucker and Dale, you're a fan of any of these type of films that are horror comedy like that, you're gonna fucking love this movie. And I love this movie. I love the cast. I love the locations. I love the retail aspect. It's just a solid, fun fucking film. And I'm going to go 3.9.
Oh, wow. Okay.
3.9 nerds. Like, this for me is one of these films that I think if it doesn't, it should become a cult favorite within the next 5 years. Like,
so I could give it that. I could see that. Like, we have a lot of cult classics that have become Christmas movies, and we focused a lot on those in the past. As you're seeing right now, this one and then our next week's episode are all revolved around Thanksgiving. And it's I could see it becoming a cult classic, especially for this time of year.
Yeah. And that's my hopes, and I love this film, so yeah, there it is.
Sweet. 3cinenerds@gmail.com is that email. You guys all know it too well by now. Also, beyond sending us those messages, take a second, look over at the bio in our Facebook, and you can find all the audible listening pleasures that you seek for our podcast. And then beyond that, get some swag while you're there. Go and check out that 3cinenerds merchandise and our merch link. And yeah.
Like, share, review, invite.
Damn it.
Repeat.
Damn it. I thought for sure you were going to actually say it in the right order. And the fourth one he changed up this time. He's never said the same way twice.
Write a review, invite your friends, talk to your friends, Do whatever you can. Bring people to listen to us and our ignorance about movies. Because we like doing it and we want to influence other people to our shitty opinions of films.
If you know people like to ramble about movies and bounce topics, dolphining is what the ADHD term is, then tell them to come check us out, because that's what we're all about.
Till next time.
Peace out.
Later.